Are you leading your team or just managing them? The difference lies in one powerful skill: vulnerable leadership. Stick with me, and I'll show you how courage and connection can transform your team and your results. We all admire leaders who seem larger than life, but think about the ones who've truly impacted you. Chances are, they didn't lead from a pedestal. They led from the heart. Vulnerable leadership isn't a weakness. It's about building trust and empowering others by showing up authentically. Leaders like Brené Brown have shown us that the courage to be real is the foundation of success. Let's dive into how you can embrace this and create a thriving, connected team. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build trust with your team through vulnerability. You'll know how to deliver feedback that drives growth, not resistance. You'll know how to create a culture of accountability that inspires excellence. Are you ready? Let's go. Key number one is the courage to be vulnerable. Leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. Imagine standing in front of your team and saying, I don't have all the answers, but I'm committed to figuring it out with you. That's vulnerability. When your team sees that you are a human, they feel safe enough to be honest, to share ideas, and admit their own mistakes. These are all key ingredients for growth. So here's your action step. Start small. Share a personal challenge or lesson learned during a meeting. This simple act, it can open the door to deeper team connections, and it can inspire others to ultimately do the same. Key number two is the power of positive deposits. I want you to think about your relationships as bank accounts. Every compliment, every word of encouragement or acknowledgement is a deposit. When it's time to give constructive feedback or make a withdrawal, you'll have enough goodwill in the account that it keeps things positive. Here's why this works. Trust, it's not built overnight. Regular, genuine, positive interactions are what create a foundation where tough conversations, they feel like investments, not attacks. So here's your action step. Start each week by sending a quick thank you or recognition message to team members. It's a small habit, but it makes a huge difference. Key number three, balancing the feedback seesaw. Let's talk about feedback. It's not about sugarcoating criticism or burying it with praise. It's about balance. Think of a seesaw. Too much positive feedback, your team's not gonna grow. Too much negative feedback, they're gonna shut down or quit. So here's how you do it right. Focus on what's working and what can improve, and be direct but empathetic. For example, you did a great job leading that project, but let's talk about how to manage timelines more effectively next time. So here's your action step. Before your next feedback session, write down one positive and one constructive point and deliver them together to ensure that it's done in balance. Key number four, focus on growth opportunities. Feedback isn't about pointing out flaws. It's about creating pathways for improvement. When addressing an issue, shift the focus and focus on what's actually possible. So here's an example. Instead of saying, you missed your quote target today, try, how can we improve the process to make sure you hit your quote target next time? This reframes the issue as a growth opportunity rather than a personal failure. So here's your action step. In your next one-on-one, simply ask your team member what growth looks like for them and how you personally can support it. This fosters a forward-thinking mindset. And key number five is the significance of accountability. See, accountability isn't about micromanaging. It's about setting crystal clear expectations and follow through. It's how you communicate. I believe in your potential and I'm here to support you. Here's some real talk for you. Accountability, it works both ways. If you expect your team to own their actions, then you need to model it too. So here's your action step. During your next team meeting, set specific goals with specific deadlines. Then follow up, because consistency builds trust and reinforces accountability. Key number six, modeling expectations. Leadership isn't do as I say, it's watch what I do. If you expect openness, own your mistakes. If you want resilience, show how you bounce back from challenges. Here's why this matters. We all know that actions speak louder than words. When you lead by example, your team will follow you naturally. So here's your action step. At your next team check-in, share a time that you fell short and what you learned from that opportunity. This vulnerability will inspire others to grow from their own mistakes. Number seven, courageous communication. Surface level communication and conversations might keep the peace, but they aren't going to drive progress. Leaders must tackle the tough conversations head on and do it with empathy and honesty. So here's an example for you. Instead of avoiding underperformance issues, say, I want to discuss how we can improve. My goal is to help you succeed and be the best in this role. How can I support you in this? Here's your action step. Identify one conversation that you've been avoiding. You know the one I'm talking about. So schedule it, approach it with empathy, and focus on solutions, not blame. Great leaders, they don't just manage, they inspire. By daring to connect, you can transform your team into a powerhouse of trust, growth, and success. If this video gave you new insights, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below about how you're going to use vulnerable leadership to make a real impact. Because together, we'll elevate our teams and ourselves.